what's up guys? Mr. Free Coiner coming back to you again today. I hope everybody's doing well and you are taking care of yourselves. Now, as usual, I do need to say that I'm not a financial analyst. I'm simply sharing my thoughts and opinions, so please don't take anything I say as financial advice. Now, as we see here, market is up a little bit. Everything except XRP. I take that back. It is up a little bit relatively, but not like the other coins in the market. But we know that's quite all right. No problem at all. So we just have to wait and see what happens here. Next few days are actually the rest of this month is going to be very interesting. As I always say, we just have to be patient. Let's just let everything play out as it should. All right. Now, just a couple things I wanted to really go over, and as far as articles go, and then I just wanted to talk about some stuff. But here, Thai Bank walks back on Ripple XRP plans. Now, in this article here, man, they try to make it seem like Siam has said, oh no, they put the brakes on it. No, we're not doing it at all. We don't know where that tweet came from, which is total BS. The only thing they did a bit of a retracement, or they retract on their words and just said, as of now, we have no plan on using XRP, which means what? They don't want to put a time frame on anything. They've put too much out there, so of course these different articles are going to try to capitalize on it, use it as FUD. Hey, whatever. Let them do what they want to do. All right. This is something else I found. Product marketing VP of Ripple XRP is key in international payments, and we know that, right? There's actually quite a lot in this article, but there was one thing, and I did mention this the other day, but the thing that I kind of got out of the Ripple drop that I found very really very important was one second. Yeah, here it says, the latest upgrade has developed new toolkits for businesses and companies to enable them to utilize RippleNet in days rather than weeks. So, I take that as what we've been told about companies, 3 to 4 companies being brought on board per week. I'm thinking it could actually be more. And, they've made it so efficient at this point with this product, with this software upgrade, that instead of it taking, as it said, weeks or months or whatever, it only takes days. So, that's really huge, because this is the thing, as I've mentioned, I do work in security. So sometimes it can take a couple weeks to get a deployment implemented, get everything set up, all of that stuff, as it relates to data security and all that stuff. That's actually, to be more specific, I am in data security. Okay, so when I see something like this, this is huge, because it's almost like if you think about, if you know anything about SAP, it could take quite a long time to get SAP totally rolled out in a company. Have everything set up, ready to go. For them to be able to do this in days, and upgrading a company from wherever they were, which is probably something legacy, to this newer system, that's huge. That's really huge. Reducing that time frame, it's really going to be able to sustain what we're expecting to happen over the next, what Ripple is expecting to happen over the next few years. I'll say a few years, but even months, because as we move towards the end of this year, I I'm more than sure we're going to hear about many more companies coming on board, having RippleNet implemented, and just really going crazy with it. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of go a little bit more in depth in that. I hope that really made sense. Okay, so I did have someone asking about VeChain, and I did not get a chance to actually reply. It's just been really busy. A lot of stuff, of course, going on. So anyway, I did want to say I own VeChain. I did buy some. It was really very, inexpensive. So, I got a few. After kind of looking at what they were doing, different things, I felt like, hey, why not? I mean, this is my idea, and I have some other coins. I have no problem with, as far as myself, diversifying. As I've said before, I don't necessarily want to sell my XRP if it's not necessary, right? If I have other coins that have really rode that wave up first, even because a lot of these coins are gonna take off before XRP does. So the way I'm looking at it, if that does happen and they go up in any kind of a significant way, I'm dumping those. I'm going to use that cash to do whatever I got to do and just let XRP sit and just ripen. That's my, that's kind of my plan. And yes, I think I've spoken about it before, but what I plan on doing is, well, rather I say I have an exit plan. And guys, you see it all the time. People always mention having an exit plan. Now, what you want to sell, totally up to you, but the way I look at it is as early as possible, where it's reasonable, $10, $5, or whatever is reasonable for you. You might want to go ahead and get your original investment out, right? If it's feasible, right? Now, after that happens, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to let it ride as well. Like even with XRP, after I kind of get some of these other coins sold, if I see a good exit point, to be honest with you, I'll probably go ahead and take some profit off of it, even pay myself back. I do, like I said, I want to let it ripen, but at the same time, the wise thing to do, and David Schwartz even mentioned this, the wise thing to do is, as he calls it, de-risk. So, actually, I'll go ahead and retrace what I said. I'm gonna set aside an amount to sell of XRP to pay myself back. The rest of it, I'm gonna let that ripen. As I mentioned, the main thing, all I need is, something to basically, as most of you do, pay off things, have a little bit to set aside to do whatever I need to do, and just wait. That's my plan. So, but either way, guys, it's always a good idea to have an exit plan. These guys are not joking with that. That is something you really need to plan out. Get with your wife, your better half, or however you want to put it. What is this thing doing? It's kind of acting weird. Anyway, yeah, plan it out, and that way you're not taken by surprise when all this happens, because it is going to happen. So just be ready, guys. All right, so something else I wanted to talk about as far as, and this is something I tweeted earlier, banks holding XRP and there not being enough XRP. So this was actually mentioned by another guy. He did a video, and this video was shared by Mr. Gecko something. I forgot his name. Mr. Gecko something. I can't remember. But so this video, the guy apparently is a trader. He sounds like he knows his stuff as far as that goes. But he did mention something about banks needing to hold XRP, and there possibly not being enough XRP to go around. Now, these are things that I mentioned before. And again, guys, these are just my my thoughts and opinions as far as this goes, as I always say, I could be totally wrong, but I'm just going off of the things that I see. And that's what I base when I say gut feeling, that's what I base all of that on. When I hear certain things, they just trigger something, and I'm like, okay, so I'm holding on to that. And when I hear something else, and I'm like, all right, so this is where I think it's going to go. So a couple reasons why I think banks will hold XRP. Well, number one, because why not? Why would you want to risk having to fill an XRP order by going to the exchange, when you could have someone custody it for you, right? Now, if they have a third party actually holding it for them, it doesn't have to be on their books, but they have someone with their interest holding it, and they have access to it immediately. Now, how that's going to look, I don't know. I mean, any bank could have a relationship with an exchange, whatever. But either way, if they have those coins allocated for that specific institution, then they, in effect, own the XRP. So, also, I think it really kind of behooves a bank to actually own XRP right now, because it's cheap, and they know full well that the price of XRP is going to go up. Why not allow that to happen, take some profit off, and then use what's left to carry out whatever transactions you're going to make? Because I think this is the exercise that Ripple is performing right now, showing that XRP can be very stable. And many have mentioned this before. This is why we don't see wild fluctuations with XRP. One of the reasons why. It's just, I feel like it's kind of a way that they're showing these institutions like, hey, if you have XRP, you don't have to worry about wild, fluctuations up or down. But I think, anybody's okay with it going up. It's just the coming down part. So we'll see. I mean, again, guys, I could be totally wrong. I'm not a banker. I'm not a financial guy or anything like that. These are just my opinions. So, please take it easy on me. All right. What else I got? All right. So also the whole thing with the micropayments. So I think Recomec had said that he was wondering why. No. I'm sorry. It wasn't Recomec. He was talking about the banks holding XRP. Another guy, I can't remember the Twitter account, but he said that he didn't agree. No, actually, it was a comment on the video. He said he didn't agree with me as far as the micropayments, me saying that XRP won't be used for micropayments. Look, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I really hope I'm wrong. I really do. Because if we have XRP being used by a whole bunch of different people, the only thing that's going to do is make the price go up. The reason why I'm saying that XRP may not be used for micropayments is because of what's being said about XRP. Anytime XRP is mentioned, it's always in the context of cross-border payments, remittances, international payments, things like that. It's never really talked about as far as, people using it as a means of payment. Now, yes, it has been mentioned in that way in some ways, like you have the gaming and all that other stuff, but that doesn't necessarily have to be used as the mode of transfer of value. Remember, XRP will always, well, I won't say always, but the idea for XRP is to be the middleman, right? To carry that value from one type of payment to another. So in one way, out another. So that's the reason why I'm saying because there's so many other coins out there that can be used as micropayments. Not to mention, if there's a stable coin that's released, that's backed by XRP, so at that point there's absolutely no need to use XRP. You have a stable coin now. You definitely don't have to worry about the fluctuations. And anytime it can always be taken back to XRP with no issue. As you know, I mean, really, no coin would have an issue. But all in all, it's backed by XRP. So again, I could be totally wrong. This is just my opinion on it, just things that I'm seeing, and we'll see. I mean, ultimately, we'll have to just wait and see what happens, right? All right, last thing, Litecoin. All right, so this really kind of goes back to diversification, and how do you feel about, spending your money, putting your money in there? If I hear people saying this is a bad idea, that's a bad, to me, I look at it like this: it's your money. If it's something you want to put your money into, you feel as though you want to take some profit, or you see something about to happen, hey, it's your money. I mean, to be honest with you, I may grab a couple Litecoin and ride the wave. I'm not going to say I wouldn't. If I feel like I want to, take a chance on it, I may just do that. I have a lot of other coins, so why not, right? Why not? Don't feel as though, and I'm going to be honest, please don't feel as though you have to give anybody an explanation on what you plan to do with your money. It's your money. It's your decision. That's what this is all about. If you made it to XRP because of your decisions, you cannot blame anyone else. You cannot, none of that. If someone tells you that, if you send them your money, they're going to send you something back, you're both at fault. Because number one, you know better than to send your money or your coins to someone and you don't have control of them. But they are also wrong for not returning your funds. Obviously, it's theft. But we all have to take responsibility for our actions. You cannot blame everyone for the things that you do. I find that a lot with people, and man, it kind of just eats me up. I really believe this is one of the things that I see with millennials. They don't take responsibility a lot. Well, I'm not going to just blame them. A lot of people don't take responsibility for their actions. And, it's just something that I'm coming from me to you. Take responsibility for what you do, and you will become a better person for it. Always. I know that's what I do. Anything that I do wrong, anything that I say wrong, I will take responsibility for it. And I will do better next time. So, anyway, that's just my message today, guys. As usual, I want to thank you guys so much for the subscriptions, the likes, the views, everything. As I mentioned, I'm really trying to, now I'm going to start moving, fast forward, or not necessarily fast, but full steam ahead on building this channel. There are some things that I want to change in my life. So I plan on coming out with a lot more content. It's going to be more, it won't just be one thing. It's going to be health. It's going to be some other stuff that I like and I want to, share with you guys. That being said, make sure that if you have not already done so, please hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button and the post notification button so you can see me again when I post. Until next time, this has been Mr. Freecoiner. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.